So it looks like eBay is coming out with their next money grab. At least that's what it appears to be. And I'm going to tell you about that on the other side. So without any further ado, let's go. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is John from Flip It Ain't Easy. And as I mentioned, eBay is currently at it again. They're currently in a beta phase, meaning they're testing out with select eBay sellers the idea of a CPC, or a cost per click formula to expose your listings to external searches. So anything outside of eBay, mainly we're talking about Google search and Google shopping. So I want to start with showing you what the Google shopping looks like. So let's type in Bluetooth headphones, and you see a range of different shops, Best Buy, Amazon, come up, Harman Audio. Because there's so much demand for, say, Bluetooth headphones, and I didn't put a brand in or anything, it's going to be really hard to compete with Best Buy, Amazon, and all them. So that's why you really don't see any eBay listings here. So let's try something different. Let's try vintage postcards, because I know a lot of you guys selling collectibles. So let's see what that looks like. Now you have different websites. There's eBay right there. Okay, some Amazon, another eBay listing, more eBay listings, and if you expand the search to view all, we can really see there's a wide variety of listings from different websites that you would be competing against, and you currently are competing against with eBay's current structure. And these are your external views that we're talking about. I don't even put shoes. I just put Nike Huarache men's. And we go down and we see we have Nike, Champ Sports. There's a Mercari listing right there, and one eBay listing. And we'll go ahead here and just show you guys some more eBay and Mercari. But let's click on the listing, and you'll see it takes you directly to the actual listing on eBay, and that's where your external views come from. Currently, as it stands, I can just share with you, I'm dealing with about 15% of my external page views are shown to the customer that's outside of eBay, maybe not even interested in shopping on eBay, and they're looking at, maybe they're looking up an item on a Google search. My listing may pop up in one of the results, and it drives them to look at my listing. And I can tell you that it's about the same on this account with promoted listing standard, and my other account where I don't have promoted listings at all. And that's about the same ratio, about 15 to 20% on that account. I'm curious to know what your page views look like from external views from, like, say, Google search, if you look at your traffic report, and if you're using promoted listings currently or not. If you want to put that down below, that would be appreciated. So why is this important? Well, it's important because if eBay goes to a model, now this is currently in the beta stage, and I'll show you here in a minute. So if this turns into, say, promoted listings extreme, or whatever else they want to call it, how is this going to affect what our current exposure is for those of us who aren't going to play that part of the eBay game, right? And for me, I'm dealing with about 15 to 20% page view ratio. Now, real quick before I get on to the meat and potatoes of this video, for me, if I'm getting 15 to 20% of all my page views are as a result of these Google searches, I have a really strong feeling that because they're looking at my listing on a Google search, okay, and it compels them to go to eBay, that there's a good percentage of those folks that are actually going to end up buying my item, because they're not comparing me to a bunch of other eBay sellers. I may be the only eBay listing on that particular Google search, and it drives them right to the site to find my listing. It goes right to my listing page. And so if you take that away, if you basically say you need to be part of this CPC model or cost per click, if you're not playing that game, are you going to lose your market share of views on Google search? Because see, what happens is eBay currently pays Google, and I don't know how much they pay, but they pay Google to promote our items in Google Shopping, and that costs money, right? Now, with a lot of these, you remember what happened when they came out back in June and told us they were going to start charging the promoted listing fee not only on the item itself, but the shipping and the taxes paid. That percentage is going to come off the entire thing that the buyer pays. And the justification for them to do that, at least that's what they told us, was because they wanted to expand our listings into other opportunities such as Google search and that sort of thing. It makes me wonder if that was just a line. I mean, I guess I answered my own question. I think it is. Now, I'm hopeful that this beta is something that just doesn't work and they move on from it. But if they find that it works, now keep in mind, it's a beta. It means they have all the programming in place for the select sellers, right? To say, I want to put X amount of dollars a month in my budget for click to pay for Google search, and eBay is going to see what that does. And I'm curious if this is launched across the board for anyone who wants to participate, how is that going to affect our sales? You know, are we going to drop 10 to 15% in page views? Or is it going to be very minimal page views, just depending on you know, the rarity of the item that you're selling? If you have high competition and someone's paying that you know, that new model, that promoted listings extreme or whatever they may call it, you're maybe going to be at risk to lose that market share, regardless if you're promoting using promoted listing standard or not. And that's my concern. Now, let's get to the post. I came across this post a couple days ago. I reported it to you guys on the live stream kind of like 10 minutes before I went on, and I kind of just brought up my thoughts on the little bit that I've read. But I want to dive into this a little further, and I'm not going to take a whole lot of time on this. This was posted by a user on the eBay seller community forum. They state, I saw this pop up today when checking our campaigns. Offsite ads FAQs, how the offsite ads work. During this closed beta phase, Offsite Ads lets you promote your entire eligible inventory via Google Ads. Every time a buyer clicks on your ad, you'll pay the exact CPC, cost per click, that you'll see while creating or editing your campaign. So it gives you the ability to go in and alter whatever amount you want. A lot like Promoted Listings Advanced. How does CPC work? Offsite ads use a flat rate CPC model, meaning that the price you're charged will always be the CPC you see while creating or editing your campaign. How does eBay determine the cost per click for my campaign? During this closed beta, we'll calculate a unique CPC for each seller's inventory. You'll see that CPC while you're setting up your campaign. This is the CPC, or cost per click, we think will deliver optimal performance based on factors like competition, relevance, and quality. We'll continue to release more guidance as more data comes in and your CPC is subject to change. If we see that your CPC should go up, we'll ask you to update your campaign. If the CPC should be lower, we'll automatically lower it for you. Now, I've done some research on the whole idea of CPC, or cost per click, with Google. And with Google, there's a way to do it manually, and there's an automated tool that they have. And this sounds a lot like eBay is utilizing an automated tool that allows you some control, not a whole lot of control, but some control over that process. So what does a daily budget mean? When you choose to run a continuous campaign, eBay will calculate your total monthly budget as 30.4 times the average daily budget. Now, I don't want to get too far into the math here, but over the course of your campaign, you will not be charged more than this budget per calendar month. However, as a marketplace demand fluctuates, eBay may spend more or less than your average daily budget to capitalize on interested buyers when the demand is there on a per day basis. For example, if your average daily budget is $10 for a continuous campaign, you won't be charged more than $304 per calendar month. On a daily basis, though, you may be charged up to $20 or as low as $0, but the average over the course of your campaign will not exceed $10 a day. So this sounds to me like it's geared up towards the larger sellers. Now, to me, the larger sellers already have an advantage over your everyday seller, but this is going to give them even more of an advantage to capitalize more on that 10, 15, 20%. After I launch my campaign, where will my ads appear? In this beta phase, your ads will be eligible to appear wherever Google Shopping ads appear, including the Google search and shopping pages. Which listings are eligible for offsite ads? Currently, only fixed price listings are eligible for offsite ads. Auction listings are not eligible at this time. Placement eligibility is subject to Google Ads policies requirement. How will my offsite ads campaign affect the visibility of my promoted standard ads in external placements? Once you've created an offsite ads campaign, your listings can only appear in Google Ads through that campaign. They won't be eligible to appear in Google Ads via your promoted listings standard campaign. So it sounds to me that any external views that you get, or benefit of external views you get by having promoted listings enabled, is not going to be the same. So you might be pushed out by people who are using this new program if it goes mainstream. So I want your opinion. My opinion doesn't matter. You guys already know where I stand, in that I think it's just another way for eBay to get more money out of the seller. And it also seems to push away the smaller seller. And it's funny. Sometimes when you're dealing with people or companies, they're going to come out and pretty much tell you what they want. And I remember them saying something like last year, how they're going to start focusing more on the bigger sellers, right? And not focusing so much on the smaller sellers. And that's kind of an example of what's happening right now. And it's sad. It's sad because this is not how eBay was built. This is not the heart and soul of what eBay once was. And they're turning this site into something totally different. So what do you guys think? Is this just another money grab, or is this eBay just pushing away the small guy? I want to know your thoughts, so comment down below. Tell me what this means to you, because this is kind of like a death by 1,000 cuts. You got a little change here, a little change there. Let's do the promoted listings on the whole amount, not just the end price. Let's do this CPC model. Next it is, if you don't have 100 listings, you're not going to be allowed to sell on eBay. Who knows? That's just an extreme thing. But this is how major changes happen. They usually just don't happen like one big change overnight. It's very small, minute changes, fee changes. Now I know that eBay is going to charge more fees over time. And we're talking about a percentage. So at some point, they're not going to be able to go any further. They're going to drive all sellers out of the market, not just the small guy. And then where are they going to go for their extra fees? Because they're losing sellers, they're losing buyers. And it just seems to me, it's not a good way to add or to attract new sellers and buyers when your focus is trying to figure out how much money you're going to be able to take from them. You should be trying to introduce them to a positive selling experience with the tools in place, like instant payment on best offer, things like that we're paying for. We're paying for these enhancements that they've promised us, and they're asking for more money and not delivering on those promises at the same time. And they've got the money, believe me. They're able to develop these software changes by these beta tests and changing their promoted listings programs. But you're telling me it's a cost problem for them to go in and give us what we've been wanting, instant payment across the board on auctions and best offer. Mercari has that in place, and it works really well for me. And they get a lot less revenue coming in than eBay does. So what's really going on? That's my question. So guys, wasn't planning on making this video today, but I thought it was important just to bring you up to speed as to what's going on. And it's behind the scenes, because eBay's only including the people they want to know about this or to participate in this. And they're not sending out mass emails to tell all of us what they're planning on doing and what they actually are doing. So do me a favor, if you enjoyed this content and the time that I take to make these videos, please hit the like button. While you're at it, subscribe to the channel, and of course, hit that notification bell, because as many of you guys know, I like to do that last minute live thing, and I really want you to be a part of it. So, like I said, death by 1,000 cuts is what this seems to be, but we have no control over it. And the only reason why I'm bringing this to you is because I want my audience to be informed when the proverbial hits the fan. But, you know, changes with eBay, it's yet another example of how flipping ain't easy. And I want you guys to enjoy the rest of your weekend, and you'll hear from me very soon.